have this job available, but this job is available. What do you think? I can't tell you that. I'm not going to pick that for you because I'm not going to be doing that job the next 3 to 5 years. You are. And I want you to make a sound decision on your life.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing a bushel of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells time and jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air.
I thought for this video I would answer your questions. So you all have been leaving questions in my comment section left and right with those Christmas trees, and I want to come on and answer some of the questions on camera for you, because sometimes it's hard for me to type like a whole response to a question. Sometimes the response is layered, which means it's not just one simple easy answer that I can give you. By me doing a video response, hopefully you get the information quicker and it's a little bit more easier to understand. So let's get right into it. So right off the bat, I just want to say here, because I get probably one of these questions like every other day, people will list the jobs that the recruiters have available for them, and it's not necessarily the job that they want. So this, I'm gonna put my Christmas tree tip right in the beginning of this video. Go ahead and drop your Christmas tree emoji now. This tip is for people who are going to MEPS right now. You are taking the test. You're trying to figure out which job you can do, which job is available for you, which job you want, and you don't see the job available that you want. You do not have to pick any old job. And I think I've said this in other MEPS videos. You do not have to pick the job. If the job that you want is not available to you at that time, you can let that recruiter know, hey, the job that I want is not available at this time. I do not want to do any of these jobs. I will wait, if you're willing to wait. Some people want to go right now. Some people want to are ready to leave and go to basic training. If that's you and you say, hey, the job that I really want is not available, but I will pick 13 Bravo and I'm ready to go, by all means go ahead and go. But I just want you to know, by doing that, it could possibly be a recipe for disaster overall in your military career. Because if it's something that you absolutely hate doing, or something that you have no clue about before you came to MEPS that day, and you're going to be doing this for the next 3 years, 5 years, 20 years, you might hate life in the military. And I say that because I hate when people get in, they pick a job that they had no clue about, that they hate, and the job is horrible. It's a horrible job. Their experience is horrible, and they say, oh, the military wasn't for me, or I hate the military, or they made me do the X, Y, and Z. You pick that job. At the end of the day, you pick that job, and you don't like the job that you have to do every day, which makes a horrible life for you for the next 3 to 5 years, or however long the contract is. Don't blame the military, and you hating the military, hating your life in the military because of that, because you picked that job. And I have to tell myself this: I picked pharmacy technician job. I don't really like to be a pharmacy technician. I know my job. I can do my job with my eyes closed. But at the end of the day, nobody put a gun to my head and made me pick that job. I picked the job. So it's a very, very customer service heavy job. If you're not a customer service person, don't pick that job. Some jobs are, you have to work with your hands. If you're not a hands-on, get dirty type person, don't pick that job. If it's a clerical job and you don't like paperwork and you don't like sitting in the office and sitting in front of a desk, don't pick that job. And if you do pick that job because that's the only option available, it kind of falls on you to make the best of the situation. So I just want to say that, because people tell me, well, I don't have this job available, but this job is available. What do you think? I can't tell you that. I'm not going to pick that for you, because I'm not going to be doing that job the next 3 to 5 years. You are. And I want you to make a sound decision on your life, because this is your life for the next 3 to 5 years. So somebody text me. This is Bubbles, IMVU. She said, can I get a sew-in that I can have in a bun? Also, are bangs prohibited? So you can get a sew-in, and I have done a video on hairstyles in the military. I'll put the card here, as well as try to link the playlist below in the description box. But you can get a sew-in. I suggested that you don't get a sew-in, because usually you get really, really, really sweaty and really, really dirty, and you are going to want to be able to clean your hair and wash your hair. But if you feel like a sew-in is going to be the best thing for you, definitely by all means you can get a sew-in. Just don't have no loud crazy colors, but you can get a sew-in definitely. And if you can put it in a bun, that's awesome. You can have bangs, but your bangs have to be at least 1 inch above your eyebrow, so keep that in mind. We ain't get none of these Chinese bangs where you can barely see. You all know I've done a lot of pregnancy videos on this channel because I just had my baby this year. She wrote, I have a question regarding Army pregnant women. How do you go to work when you're pregnant? How long is the maternity leave, including before and after the baby is born? I hope to hear from you. Okay, so you all have seen me go to work each day that I'm pregnant. If you're pregnant in the military, you will carry on with your normal everyday lifestyle. You go to work every day, you do your job every day. If you have to do your job modified due to your pregnancy situation, your doctor will write a doctor's note saying that you can't stand for so long, or you have to rest your feet for so long, or you have to sit after so much time, but you're still going to go to work and do your regular job. It just may be modified. The maternity leave right now is 12 weeks, so you get 12 paid weeks of maternity leave, and that's starting the day you go into labor and give birth. You have 12 weeks from that day. Now, you don't get any type of maternity leave before you go into labor. I know some people can go out on maternity leave like the week or 2 weeks before. That's not the case in the military. You will work up until the day your water breaks and you go into labor. Now, if there's a certain situation where you have to go on bed rest, like I said, your doctor will write you a note and you will be excused from work for a bed rest for however long they say, up until you deliver the baby, and then at that time you get 12 weeks of paid leave. But there's no such thing as like you get pregnant and then you have to stay at home and you can't do your job. Nope, you go to PT, you work out like normal, modified of course. You go to work like normal, modified if need be, and then when you deliver, then you get 12 weeks of leave like everybody else. So Tashira Stewart wrote, do you know if dyed hair is allowed in basic training? So you can dye your hair before you go to basic training. Make sure it's a natural color. Like I said, none of these crazy bright colors. You can have any color. You can't have any like bright colors in your hair, like blue, green, crazy stuff like that. Make sure it's a natural color. You can dye it before you go to basic training. Once you're in basic training, you're not going to be dyeing your hair. You're not going to be perming your hair. You're not going to be putting any type of chemicals in your hair. The most you will have time for is maybe some cornrows to the back, and to be able to wash your hair. You won't be able to blow dry your hair or flat iron your hair or do anything like that because they take away all of the appliances. So I want y'all to keep that in mind when you're getting ready for basic training. Keep it simple. Do everything you need to do before you go, because you won't be able to do any of those things once you're actually in basic training. Megan wrote, do you have to shower as a group? Now, depending on your basic training, I mean, each facility has a different setup. Most of the places you go to will have a, I don't know if it's called group shower. That just sounds bad, but it's like a big room with shower heads, and there's no shower curtain. So you can see the person across from you and the person left and right from you. So I guess that's a group shower. So I do want to answer that question. It could be a group shower. Some places I heard where they have individual stalls, but I know at the place where I went to basic training and a lot of other basic training places, I went to Fort Leonard, Missouri, they did have group showers, so we didn't have shower curtains. Oh, Kathyana Jean put, what is the shortest contract year you can start in military, or does it depend on what job you choose? So it kind of does depend on the job you choose. I would say it depends on a few factors. It depends on the job you choose, and it depends on when you join. So right now, I think the military is still trying to meet their quota. If they're trying to meet their quota, then they may drop it down because they could probably get more people to join if they say, hey, I want to join, but I only want a 2-year contract. So, but if the Army has already met their quota and they're not really taking any more people, then they may say, hey, you have to sign a 5-year contract. Now, when I joined, you have to at least do 5 years, and I think it's the case more so because of my MOS, my job. My job, of course, is pharmacy technician, and I know a lot of the other soldiers that have come in the last 3 to 5 years have said that their contract was a 5-year contract, because you have to think the military is going to pay for you to go to basic training and then pay for you to go to AIT. AIT is where you learn your job. AIT is like taking an associate's degree and chopping it down into like 4 to 6 months. So I would learn everything I would learn on the outside as a pharmacy technician get the certification or go to like a community college and learn it. What I would learn in 2 years, I learned in 6 months. And then they put me on the job, and I'm actually doing that job as a pharmacy technician. So that's a lot of money and resources to train all of those kids coming in within the span of 6 months, and then putting them in to do their job. So they're not going to waste all of that resource and just say, hey, you can only do this job. We'll give you a 2-year contract. And then the kids get out in 2 years and go work at CVS. They're going to get their time back. So because it takes so much money for us to get trained in such little time, they're going to get their money's worth. And they made, I know for my MOS specifically, the minimum is 5 years that you have to sign up. You basically in school for a whole year, between basic training and school for a whole year before you get to your first duty assignment. So it would make any sense to have you on a 2-year contract. You only do a year at your first duty station, and then you're able to get out. That's a waste of money to the Army. So they're going to get at least 4 years out of you, and then you can get out if you want to and do whatever you want to do. At that point, you would have a certification, and you can get out, work at CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, wherever you want to. So, and I say all that to caveat onto something else, is when you're picking your job and they tell you at MEPS, you can't pick respiratory therapist because it's not available, but you can pick a truck driver. If you know you really don't want to be a truck driver in real life, don't do it. Don't pick that job, because I'm going to wait and do respiratory therapy because I know that's a setup for success when I get out in 5 years, however long they say my contract has to be. And I could work at a hospital being a respiratory therapist rather than drive trucks, or maybe have to start over once I get out because I really didn't want to be a truck driver in the first place. Do not take whatever they throw you just because you feel like you have to. Set yourself up for failure. Set yourself up for success for the long run. What do you want to do when you leave the military? What job can you take to help you get to that point that you want to be at when you leave the military? So somebody else wrote, when you have kids, how do you do the military and watch your child? Do you see any females with dreads? So that was 2 questions. As you all know, I have a family, so I do the military. My kids are in daycare, or if you have school-age kids, your kids will be in school while you're in the military. While you're at work each day, and then you come home and you take care of your family as if you would normally do. And to answer the second part of the question, you can have dreadlocks. They have to be within regulation, though. They can't be those big, wide, thick dreadlocks. They have to be kept and neat. But the regulation now states that you can wear dreadlocks. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you all for the questions. If you have any more questions, definitely drop them below in the comment section. And this was kind of fun answering your questions on camera. If you all want me to, let me know, and I will definitely do another video like this, because it's easier for me to answer the questions and just speak them out loud, the responses to the questions, rather than get on and type everything up, and it just takes a long time. So I enjoyed this. I also might do some lives to answer questions as well. You all let me know in the comment section like what's a good day and time to go live. Maybe me and Babe Gabe can go live and answer your questions as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.